Hi, welcome to FootyWit Podcast, the transfer updates. This will be the first episode this year, January 2021. It's good to start on a high note. We thank God for 2020. Thank God for how far He has kept us. We thank God for making us to see another brand new year. But we're starting with transfer updates because we are in the transfer. The transfer window is currently open, and we'll be looking at deals. We'll be looking at transfers that some of the big clubs will be looking at, bringing in players and also exiting some other players so that they can forge ahead for the remainder of the season. My name is Ehis Anthony. Welcome to the FootyWit Podcast, the transfer update episode. And I'm not here alone. I'm here with Chimamaka. Chimamaka, how you day?
Hello. Oh, it's good to be back once again. It's good to be in the year 2021, and we hope that this year would pan out very well for every one of us. It's good to have you guys back again in the studio.
Yes. 2021. What's your take saying 2021? Let's just...
Well, all I have to say about 2021 is it should be favorable to every one of us. We didn't expect how 2020 panned out, but the beauty of 2020 is the fact that we are alive to talk about 2020. It's not our power, actually. It's not our right to actually be in 2021, but we give glory to God. It's not been easy. Everybody had their pound of flesh to pick from 2020, but still we are alive, and we hope that 2021 will put smiles on each and every one of us faces. So that's my prayer.
Yeah, we pray so. Because what we prayed against last year, we prayed that God should keep us safe and good health, which is coronavirus.
Yeah.
Pandemic. Prayed so earnestly to God to keep us healthy, and we shouldn't get contracted with the virus. And everybody was so, praying that 2020 should just come and go. But the thing is,
exactly.
2021 is here, and the pandemic, the virus is still here. We didn't call it COVID 2.0 now, because the one that hit us in 2020 was COVID-19. But the thing is, we'll just keep on doing the best that we can do. Stay healthy. Take the necessary precautions. Wash your hands. Sanitize your hands. Wear the nose mask. If we were in a studio, we would have done that. But we're virtual. We're doing this virtual. That's where we can keep talking without the nose mask, because we're in our own bubble, so we're safe.
Yeah.
And on behalf of all the guys on FootyWit Podcast, we say Happy New Year to all our listeners out there. On behalf of Samiat, Tunde, Okwe, Udoka, and Abe, Damini, and the rest of the guys, we say Happy New Year to all our listeners. So we're going to kick straight off with today's topic that we're looking at. We'll be looking at Mesut Ozil's transfer speculation out of Arsenal. Also look at the top 8 teams, the transfers they are looking at bringing in, players they're looking at bringing in, and players they're looking at taking out of their team. And also, we noticed that a couple of free agents in this transfer window, January 2021, a couple of experienced players they are all free agents, and they are able, or they're willing, or they're allowed to start making negotiation with whatever club they want to go to at this moment. But what do we start with? We start with the Mesut Ozil story. Yeah, Chimamaka, we start with the Mesut Ozil story.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, Mesut Ozil, Arsenal, and the transfers. I would. Well, it's a step in the right direction, actually, for both parties, or for all parties involved. We've actually seen that Ozil has been asked out of every competition that Arsenal has to get featured in this season. And for a player of his caliber, it's not been actually easy. For a professional of his caliber, it's not been easy. had several stories coming here and there, but it's just so professional of Ozil not to have let the cat out of the bag. Probably, hopefully, when he's out of Arsenal, we eventually know what panned out that caused this to happen. But on the transfer scene, we are seeing that there are offers from all the way the United States of America in the MLS, with DC United showing so much interest with Mesut Ozil.
Yeah.
Well, for a player of his age, he still has so much to offer going to the MLS. But I would still love Ozil to play in Europe, which leads me to a more concrete offer coming in from Fenerbahce. Well, he has had a love for Turkey, and he backs them wherever he has chance to do that. I can remember some years back when he was in the he took a shot with the
Turkish president
of Turkey. That is, the Turkish president Erdogan, and it cost so much fuse actually in both the German media and the English media, putting one and two together. Well, I don't have so much to say in that regard. But as it is, he has actually shown his love for Turkey. Now Fenerbahce is coming out to see if they can nick him off Arsenal. But what I can say in that transfer is he wouldn't be getting what he's actually getting at Arsenal for that transfer to go through, because in Arsenal he's racking up £350,000 weekly, week in, week out. I don't think Fenerbahce is ready to offer that. But being a player of Ozil's caliber, I expect and I believe he's going to be professional enough to continue his playing career and continue playing in Europe, which is actually good. Fenerbahce in the Turkish league are one of the top 4 teams. Yes, we know there's Bakesher, there's this other guy. Yeah, Fenerbahce is there. This other
Galatasaray, the rival.
There, and sure, you understand. So it's also a big team. It's also a very, very big team in Europe. So as it is, he can continue his career in Europe, and let's see how that pans out. But for Ozil, it will be a very good thing to Ozil to continue playing active football. So it's preferable for him to be playing football than sit on the Arsenal, not even sit on the Arsenal bench, than being phased out of the entire Arsenal squad with a player of his caliber. So it's a good one. It's a good one for both Arsenal and Ozil.
Yeah, we've had this discussion on our previous episode on the podcast when we're reviewing the EPL games, and when Arsenal went on a kind of like a bad form, and everybody kept shouting, creativity is what is lacking, and you have Ozil on the bench. Why does Arteta don't want to use Ozil? But we now see that it's so glaring that Arteta don't want Ozil in his team, like he said, for footballing reasons. And you also mentioned that this story is one-sided because we've not heard from the side of Ozil to know what the issue really is. Yeah. But we know in the nearest future, in a couple of months, we could get to know what the story is all about. We'll hear the Ozil side of the story. Yesterday, we heard...
Exactly.
Yeah, we heard...
Exactly. So that's how it's going to be.
Yeah, yesterday, one of the players too that Arteta deemed not fit to play for Arsenal yet, which is William Saliba. He joined Nice on loan, and he started their first game on Thursday, if I'm right, which they lost 2-0. And we saw Saliba coming out to have an interview saying he was ready. He told the gaffer that he was ready, he was willing to play. But the gaffer didn't really want to use him because the gaffer felt like he wasn't ready. He said he went through a lot of issues. His first 6 months, he was injured. Joining Arsenal, there was no preseason. He had to start all the way. And for players, really, it's not easy when there is no preseason tournament. Preseason is like a cotton razor for the season. And when you just go into full action, it's not very, very easy, especially a player that is just coming back from injury. And we're able to hear Saliba's side of the story. So we hope in a couple of weeks, months, if the deal tends to pull through, we'll hear the side of Ozil, because right now Ozil has just been quiet. We know the deal, the transfer is a loan deal, and Ozil has 6 months left on his contract because there's still a bit of things that they still need to etch out concerning agreements and all that. But as it looks, Arsenal don't want to pay any part of his salary anymore So they want Fenerbahce to just take total
Yeah.
responsibility. But do you feel this is a good
Control
move
of the whole thing.
for Ozil?
Yeah, I believe it's a very good move for Ozil because why? Okay, footballing wise, he's not been playing active matches, and a player of his caliber is not a player who's supposed to be sitting
Sit on
down
the
on the
bench.
bench.
Yeah, true.
So, and as it stands, he should be enjoying football at his prime. He's in his early 30s. We see what Ronaldo is doing at Juventus at even 36. So it's more like he needs to keep playing. Let's put aside the financial aspect involved. Ozil, for his career, for his own growth,
Yeah.
he needs active football, which is what every player of his caliber wants. Let's be frank with each other. Ozil is a player who has won everything. He has won every single trophy you can talk of in football.
Has he won the Champions
as
League?
a player. Yeah, he has won. He won it with Real Madrid.
Okay.
Yeah, their first Champions League under Ancelotti.
Ancelotti, yeah, true. It was part of the squad, yes, true.
So he has won that. He has won the World Cup. He has won the La Liga.
Has he won the Euros?
He won.
No,
he hasn't. He hasn't
won the Euros. Yeah.
No, he has. He wasn't in the Euro squad that played. Okay, no, he wasn't. He wasn't. But he has won practically every major trophy that a footballer would need. He has won every trophy that if a footballer would need. So as it is, it's not. Well, in the footballing aspect, I expect Ozil to actually continue with his playing career. Financial wise, Arsenal would want to ease him off the. Would want to ease him off
their wage bill
spreadsheet.
Their wage bill,
wage bill, exactly.
Because
so it's a good thing.
It costs 350k every week.
Yeah, it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot. Now, talking about Arteta, you said something about Arteta not trying to feature him in. Yes, we know that every team have their rough patches. Arteta actually had to face it for over 6 matches before he eventually got it right. Now, we saw what Arteta lacked, and everybody, myself included, I wanted an Ozil back in that squad. Why? Because what Arteta actually lacked in that squad was a creative midfielder, which personally, if the Fenerbahce deal didn't come through, I would actually expect Arsenal to recall him back in January, just for that creative purpose. And we all know there will be no contract extension, but at least the creativity in Arsenal, if it's going to make a little difference, infuse him back into that squad. That is my own part on the whole thing. But now as it stands, we see that Fenerbahce has come all out. Even if it's a 6-month loan, eventually 6-month loan, they'll take a chunk of the whole bill,
of the wage bill, yeah,
of the whole bill. So which is also fair. On the whole thing is also fair. So as it is, it's a good bargain for both clubs, even for the receiving club, because the Fenerbahce on their own are getting a player, a world-class player. So it's a win for Fenerbahce. One, it's a win for Arsenal. Is being struck off the wage bill at least by over 40%.
Yeah,
is a good one, and it's also a good one for Ozil himself, who is going to be seen playing chance. So it's a win-win-win for every party involved. As it stands, it's a win-win for every party involved. So as it is, it's a good one. It's a very good one. My happiness is Ozil will start playing active football again. Now the second part is Arsenal has started getting it right, which is a good thing. So it's a win for everybody. It's a win for everybody.
Well, for me, the downside to it is just Ozil has spent 7 years as an Arsenal fan, as an Arsenal player, and also as an Arsenal fan, yes. Because if you're a player, you're a fan, definitely. And the way the whole saga just, ever since Arteta took in, even it started from Emery. When Emery took over, Emery had to, sit him on the bench, froze him out of the team. Bloomberg came back, integrated him back into the team. Arteta came as a manager. Started him in the first 10 games, and all of a sudden, boom, you say he's not a player that fits your style, your philosophy. So, this whole Ozil saga has been shrouded with so much secrecy that even we, the fans, there are a lot of speculations out there. Everybody coming up with his own conspiracy theory about the Ozil saga. But like I said earlier before, in the next few weeks, we hope to hear from Ozil. We hear Ozil's sides of the story, and I'm not too happy with the way the whole thing panned out. Ozil should be given. I think Arteta should try his best to see how Ozil will be given. What's the word? Will be given a good. Is it a good sent forth party? Like call it a party.
It might not be a party, but
it might not be
a
a party.
Forth, even if it's with a game.
Yeah, even if it's with a game, you know.
The game.
You know, spending 7 years in a club and, you know, just being let go that way, it's not proper. It's not proper. It's not. So,
but he wouldn't be the first player actually. If that is done to him, he wouldn't be the first player.
Yeah, I know.
We all know that Iker Casillas spent years at Real Madrid.
Yeah,
but on leaving to Porto, we didn't see anything, and we are actually disappointed in the whole of Bernabeu. But well, if Ozil is in 7 years has now played this kind of card with him, well, it's only an eye opener to every footballer out there. It's only an eye opener to every footballer out there. Yes, you can come in and bring your loyalty to a club, but eventually it has to pay. You have to make it pay.
Yeah.
I don't know if in the nearest future, if Ozil wants to come back into being a coaching staff or something, if Arsenal infuse him back in. So those are so many things you ask yourself. Things like that. There are players who have retired and the club took them back in. We are seeing the like of Arteta.
Yeah.
We see the like of
Lampard.
Frank Lampard.
Even Peter
that
Cech.
Story. This is
Peter Cech.
Yeah, exactly. You can see these kind of things. Now with Ozil's case, can such happen? Ozil toe the line of being of those at the back as backroom staffs. So these kind of things are things we look at. So in the future is actually what matters. But for now, he's
yeah, we just hope they sort it out. We just hope. For me, it's balancing the whole situation that matters. You know, everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, go your separate ways. We'll still be friends. We can still call you back, invite you as a club legend. I doubt if Ozil will be in that strata of being called a club legend. I doubt. I so doubt. I doubt because you know Ozil divides the opinion of the fans. He's massive in terms of he has a lot of fan base even within the Arsenal fan. He has a lot of faction within the Arsenal fan base. So you still see some fans sticking out their neck for Ozil despite the whole situation that has been pointed out. But you know, it is what it is. We move. So can you just give us updates on Chelsea? Is Chelsea signing any players this season? Lampard struggling to find a balance of spending over £200 million. I'm going to say that. You know, the players he has brought in, they've not really, you know, vetted well. I would actually address that. Yeah, 200 million doesn't actually mean it's going to guarantee you success. We know that for Manchester City to have been a successful club and still remain at the forefront, first top two teams in England, as it stands, they've notched out over £1 billion. We know that. We see the current EPL champions who have spent over £500 million. Yeah, £500 million. Let me repeat myself. I mean, Manchester City have spent over £1 billion, while Liverpool have spent over £500 million to attain such success. But it did not come in the first season. They had to grow their team. So, but if we're to do a calculation of money spent on players, ever since Ibrahimovic took over, Chelsea could sum up with the statistics you just mentioned for Man City and Liverpool.
Well, if you are going to ask since Ibrahimovic took over, we've not hit £1 billion yet. So I will still stand by that. He might have spent money, but let's not forget.
Chelsea have not hit £1 billion yet.
Yes, they haven't hit £1 billion. Transfers of 2002, 2003, 2004. It's not the same transfers of 2010. Let's remember that then we were talking 18 million, 25 million, which was the amount being spent then. compared to now where you have players who are going for 70-something million. So there's a difference. There's a difference then and now. But it's the transfer market. There's some things you cannot take away, which are things like this when it comes to transfers. So as it stands, with transfers in Chelsea Football Club, there are rumors which are looking like going to be a reality. Yes, we've been linked with Declan Rice of West Ham, which Lampard has always said is the missing piece to his puzzle. Well, we see that West Ham are looking to
they won't let him go for cheap.
They are looking to get over 70 million pounds for Declan Rice, which most of us as Chelsea fans are still asking our questions. Is this guy worth that amount? But it's football presently. We are talking about transfers. I'm talking about prices. Now we have a Declan Rice who is 21 years, 21 going 22 years of age, and is going for 70 million plus. Well, we can't see anything for that for now because Chelsea has not made the move. Neither has West Ham actually received a mail or received the fax that Chelsea really wants the guy to come in. But secondly, we have some other young guys who Chelsea are also looking at. We have an Ecuadorian. His name is, what's that? His name again? Yeah, his name is Moise Caicedo, who plays as a central midfielder. He's been compared to a combination of Paul Pogba and N'Golo Kante in one. So he's a 20-year-old player, which I've seen some of his clips. I never knew him before now, but I had to go and watch some of his clips, and I realized he's a box-to-box midfielder, very aggressive when it comes to defending, and very, very, very clinical when it comes to being on the attack. He's a player that you find in the box every now and then. Very, very energetic. Looks like a Chelsea-framed kind of player, which, is also a good one. Then we have a defender playing at Strasbourg. He's a 20-year-old central defender who has an option of playing at right back and can also play in defensive midfield. His name is Mohamed Simika. Yeah, Mohamed Simika, that's his name. So they're also looking at these guys as well. So these are guys who are on the pipeline for Chelsea, who Chelsea are looking at, despite the fact we know we have some defenders who are still there. But we also have another person again. I'm actually very surprised we are still linked with AC Milan shortstopper in Gianluigi Donnarumma.
The goalkeeper,
the goalkeeper. He's still 21 years old. He's been playing since he was 16.
Yeah.
So anybody who knows Donnarumma will think he has spent so many and so much years, so many years. But if you look at, he's just 21, and he has just 6 months left on his contract. Before now, 2 years back, Chelsea were actually linked with him in trying to replace Thibaut Courtois, who moved to Real Madrid, but they were unable to do that. But as it stands, I don't know. We can't say yet if AC Milan are ready to let the player go or they will allow his contract to run out. Sorry to just cut
you, because I'm not seeing Chelsea trying to offload players. Like Arsenal, they've been doing.
Yeah, I'll get back to that. Get back to that. Chelsea have 5 players who they are looking to let go, and I'll mention some of them. We'll have the likes of Alonso, Marcos Alonso. Chelsea wants to offload Jorginho. They are looking to offload either of Rudiger or Christensen. So that is 3 players. They still looking to offload. Okay, yes, we are aware that Danny Drinkwater actually is going to be going on loan to Fenerbahce as well. Well, he's not been infused in the squad. We still have players who are at the back room who we see. We have Baba Rahman as well, who is still a Chelsea player, who is also going out on a 2-year loan, I believe. And there's some other players who are in the current 25-man squad who are going out. We still have Emerson Palmeiras, who is actually seeing game time, who is also linked to.
What about
Napoli.
Alonso?
He's linked. Alonso is the first player who Chelsea is looking to let go. Sevilla has been showing interest in Alonso. So we don't know how things are going on, but we have so many players who are going to be going out as it stands. Now we can't just shell out 72 million without selling players first.
Yeah.
We can't
You have
do
to
that.
balance the
That is not good. Yeah, exactly. You have to balance the books. Despite the fact that in the pandemic year, Chelsea was able to have an interest of 32.5 million pounds, which was good business for the pandemic year, despite the expenses and the like. So as it is, they have to be going out for there to be coming in. So presently, these are the players who will look to either bring in and also offload to as well.
Just to round off the podcast, I shared a link with you yesterday.
Yeah.
This January transfer window has given us a couple of number of players. Sorry, what am I tautology? A couple of number of players. Sorry, apologies. Number of players that are that are free agents. When I was looking through the list, it's surprising. Lionel Messi, David Alaba, Gianluigi Donnarumma that you mentioned earlier, Memphis Depay, Jorginho Wijnaldum. We heard he refused. He refused the contract, the latest signed a contract with Liverpool. Sergio Aguero of Man City. Akan Calhanoglu of AC Milan.
Yeah.
Angel Di Maria, PSV. Eric Mkhitaryan, Julian Drexler, Sergio Ramos, Diego Costa is there for Atletico Madrid. Lucas Vasquez as well. Edison Cavani. We don't know what he and Manchester United will have to do, but I think they'll etch out something to. And also Shokran Mustafi. We don't know if Arsenal is trying to ship him out or will be shipping him out. Demara Gray of Leicester City. A whole list. Odion Igalo of Manchester United as well. Do you think, looking at all these players, experience, some they've seen it all. And you see a team like Wolves. I'll pick two teams, Wolverhampton Wanderers and Sheffield United. Sheffield United finished 9th last season, and this season they've not even won a single game, sitting at the bottom of the log of the Premiership. Do you think teams like this should take advantage of these free agents? See how they can bring in any of them into their team to help booster their team for the next 6 months so they don't go into relegation. Wolverhampton, they've been struggling scoring goals ever since their striker had that injury, that head collision with David Lewis. And ever since then, they've been firing blanks. But do you think these smaller teams, with all due respect to these teams in EPL, do you think they should take advantage of this free agents?
It would be a good thing for them to take advantage of it. But the question you would ask, teams might want to get these guys, but are these guys ready to go to play for these teams? Now, you're looking at a big. Okay, I'm going to use a little a little description. You're talking of David Alaba now, who still has so much football in him. He's 27 years of age. 27 years of age. That's a player at his prime.
True,
who plays at left wing back, who plays as a central defender.
And he has won so many trophies.
Play as a defensive midfielder. And yeah, exactly. He has everything you need to talk about in club football. He has everything. Now, if we're talking about Sheffield United, we know what is making David Alaba to not extend his contract with Bayern is the figures, is the zeros behind zeros that they are not agreeing to. Now, can Sheffield do that? This is a player of his class. Can they do that? If their answer is yes, they should go all out to do that. But eventually, it's going to affect them financially. Because
this list. Sorry, this list that I'm going through. This list I'm going through is just highlights the top players. There will be a whole list of players out there in Europe, that are free agents that could come and add oomph to the team.
If they can do it, they should do it as it is now. Okay, now I will talk about all those players of high caliber and the likes. Now I'll take no disrespect to Arsenal fans and to Chelsea fans, no disrespect. Now you have players who have been finding difficult at Arsenal Football Club. We talked about the likes of Mesut Ozil. We talked about the likes of Said Kolasinac. We talked about the likes of
Willian there from Chelsea.
Willian. We have the likes of Papastathopoulos we have lots of Papadopoulos. In Chelsea, you have players like I mentioned, and you actually chuckled when I talked about Danny Drinkwater, who is still a Chelsea player.
Yeah.
Now, these are guys who already have the Premier League experience. Now, all they need is all the team needs is for them to have a stability for the next 6 months to run through the EPL. Now, can they bring these guys in to come and at least still hold a ground in the Premier League than to get relegated to the Championship, which is better for them? Now, this is not going to it's going to cost a lot. First, it's going to cost the finances. Don't forget, team have loan amounts they pay to parent clubs. They also have the wage bill that they also have to address to as well. They have so many things in this. Now, what Sheffield United or the Wolverhampton Wanderers that are talking about can do now to make things better are to nick some of these guys who still have their brain settled and are still have so much to deliver. Take advantage of these guys. Yes, I'm aware that Kolasinac has gone to Schalke.
Yeah,
we are hearing that Fenerbahce wants to pick up
Ozil.
pick up Ozil, and also pick up Papadopoulos.
Yeah.
We are hearing all these things. Now, these are guys with EPL experience. Now, if these teams are lacking in these areas where these guys are, you can nick them if you have the financial capability to do. But if you cannot do that, why don't you go all the way down to the Championship and see players? I see Championship players who have come back on loan from their loans. There are several Leicester City boys who are not featured in the squad who have come back on loans back to their parents' club. These are players that we believe their wage bill wouldn't be so much. For these things to happen, you have to, yes, it's not going to come easy. You must spend in football.
Yeah,
we
true.
have learned that you must spend money. You must spend money to attain at least a certain stability. You can actually still spend money to be.
Yeah. Are you there? Yeah, true. We know they can spend a lot of money. Yes, we know they have to spend, they will have to spend a lot of money. But we also heard in the news during the week, Wolverhampton Wanderers being attracted or being. We heard one of the stories we heard was Diego Costa could make it to Wolverhampton Wanderers to play for Wolverhampton Wanderers, since Wolverhampton Wanderers are lacking in that area due to their striker. What's his name again? I had that head collision.
Raul
Jimenez. I pray that guy comes back fit to play football again. You know, they're lacking in that area. So going for a striker like Diego Costa is not bad, because Diego Costa too wants to play football. He wants to come back to the EPL. We know he's been rumored also going to Tottenham. We don't know how true Mourinho would want to get him. But a team like Wolves is not bad for Diego Costa to come into the Premier League. What do you think?
Diego Costa, Premier League, Diego Costa, Wolverhampton Wanderers, I don't see that happening. Why would I say so? Diego Costa had the privilege of playing in Atletico Madrid, but he has been hampered by injuries all through. Now, they were forced to bring in Luis Suarez, who have actually been firing on all cylinders. He's currently their highest goal scorer in Atletico Madrid. And if you remember, Diego Costa actually opted for his contract to be terminated.
Yeah.
So that has been granted to him. So I feel and I believe he still wants to play football, but he might not want to play football in Europe any longer. He might intend to go back to South America to continue his football playing. But if Wolves have everything to bring Costa back into the Premier League,
I think they should.
The good thing about Costa,
they should. Yeah.
The good thing about Costa playing in the Premier League is he already has Premier League experience.
Yeah.
And he was a success in his 3 years in Chelsea. So I believe if they have, they can do it. Because why? We've been calling Wolves the Portuguese team of the English Premier League.
Yeah.
Of the EPL. Diego Costa speaks Portuguese fluently. That is his home language. So he speaks it fluently. So it's not going to be a problem for him. That is if they eventually try to bring him in. But I actually don't see a Diego Costa playing in the colors of Wolves anytime soon, because he has to sort himself out first.
Yeah, I'm seeing Eric Garcia in the list as well for Manchester City. 20 years of age.
Yeah.
And he's not willing to extend his contract. He wants out.
With Eric Garcia's case, we realize that he has a tie with Barcelona, and he wants to return back to Barcelona. He was in the La Masia team. He started his footballing notch there, and it's been good for him. He signed for Manchester City some years back and refused to sign a new contract because he has a love of going back to Barcelona to continue his playing career. Well, it will be good for him. He might be feeling homesick. We can't say, but as it is, he's just 20 years of age. He has more than 10 years in the bag
20 years
to offer football. Yeah. He might go back. Yeah, he might go back to Spain and come back to England, go back to Spain, move to Italy. It's the football. Football has just a time frame. So let's hope that he utilizes that time he has to play good football. If his Barcelona is going to give it to him, no problem. Well, as it stands, Man City is not giving it to him.
Well, Arteta could nick that one, though. Just saying.
Well, if he works for him.
Because he coached him while he was at Man City. And Sergio Ramos, Liverpool. Yeah. Do you think Liverpool should go for him? Having injury worries defensively, no Matip, no Van Dijk, Gomez, long-term injuries, and Sergio Ramos is not willing to extend his contract. But do you see Ramos leaving Real Madrid in this January transfer window? It's a big doubt still for me.
No, in this January transfer window, I don't see him doing that. I think he will just run out his contract with Real Madrid, because we realize that this season Liverpool has been hampered with so much injuries, especially on their defense line.
Yeah,
you see Henderson playing in central defense. You see Fabinho playing in central defense.
You see this guy. So it
means exactly. It only means that they need central defender. Now, if you're going to ask me, will Sergio Ramos foot the bill for Liverpool? Yes. And let's not forget that we have, if we have the best central defender, if not the only central defender with a brain as a defender in world football presently, in Sergio Ramos. Now, we also remember that Liverpool are looking to bring in David Alaba. Let's have those guys combination in central defense, and you see Liverpool winning the league back to back.
It's going
to be crazy, but we can't say it's football. Sergio Ramos might actually be looking for new opportunities somewhere else. Sergio Ramos is 33.
34 actually.
He's 34.
Yeah.
So if a player of that age can do it in the EPL, like Thiago Silva is doing with Chelsea, why not? Highest he will get from Liverpool is Liverpool will offer him 2 years contract, and I believe he has 3 years. He has all it takes to be a top class central defender in the EPL.
Yeah.
So Ramos is welcome if Liverpool has the firepower to do that. If they have the funds, because let's not forget, in the press some few days back, we are hearing that Klopp was backing his bosses, saying that they are not stingy with the funds. Don't forget, Liverpool is owned by an American company, and we know how it is with Americans. And
tell me about it. Tell me about it. Arsenal, tell me about it. The Chrome case.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And finances. So we would agree with Klopp for now, because he was able to bring in Alcantara as well. It was a free transfer. We know that he can actually do free transfers. If he does a free transfer of David Alaba, do a free transfer of Sergio Ramos, all they have to bear is the cost. And those guys would not come cheap when it comes to their take homes. So, well, if they have the power to do that, no problem. It's football. Everything is expected.
The elephant in the room here on this list, Lionel Messi.
Yeah.
Lionel Messi. Market value of £80 million. Do you think, is there any slight chance of Lionel Messi coming into the EPL? Because we see he's been cutting. Manchester City has been cutting him.
There is.
Do you think the opportunity is there? It's 34.
Yeah, it is.
It's 33 right now, going to 34. Do you still think
Le-
he has it in the
Le-
bags? He has it in the locker
Lionel
to
Messi,
perform?
Lionel Messi at 34 is still one of the top 5 best players in the world. You cannot take that away from him.
True.
We are seeing what Ronaldo is doing at 36. He's still topping highest goal scorer log in a very difficult Italian Serie A. So you cannot rule out Messi at 34.
Yeah.
In the EPL, well, he would come in and I can guarantee one thing in the EPL: he will score goals. And the second thing I guarantee in the EPL, he will have injuries, which you cannot rule that out.
True.
So he's welcome. It's only those who have the finances that can bring in a Messi with 6 months left on his contract. Except you wait for his contract to run out before you can do that. But as it stands, we know it's just Manchester City and Paris Saint-Germain that are showing interest in Lionel Messi. But he's welcome to the EPL. Anybody, football is football. Tomorrow we can wake up and hear that Abramovich of Chelsea has decided to bring in Lionel Messi.
True.
It happened with Fernando Torres.
True.
In fact, in the January transfer as well. So anything can happen. Anything can happen. It's football.
Yeah.
It is where your money is that your mouth will be.
Where your money, where your mouth is. And Messi at the moment seems not to be happy with Barcelona because he wants to move out. He wants to get out. But it's been nice doing this first transfer updates episode for the month of January on FootyWit podcast. We hope we'll have some subsequent episode to talk about transfer news around the world of football. But we know in January is always drabby. It's not as summer where they love outgoings and coming in. But this, we just flow with it. We do the little analysis we can do on all the transfer news out there. But it's been nice doing this with you, Chimamaka.
Yeah, I just have one more thing to say there. We didn't talk about Manchester United. We realized that they've done their first transfer in the January transfer window with Amad Diallo coming in from Atalanta, and I believe he's a good buy. But they have several options in his position. I don't know what they need him for. They were able to bring in Van der Beek at the beginning of the season. Well, that same position. We still have the likes of Nemanja Matip, who is there. We have Fred, who is sitting on the bench. We have Scott McTominay, who is there. We have Bruno Fernandes, who is there. So they have so much wealth in the midfield. They've brought in another midfielder. I hope it works for them.
Only Ole understands. Only Ole understands.
Exactly. Only Ole understands that.
Yeah, so from us here, we say thank you very much for listening in. We're on social media platforms. You can follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram at FootyWit is our account. It's the handle for Instagram and also Twitter. We're on YouTube. This video of this podcast will go in on YouTube. We're also on Anchor, Google Podcast, and Spotify. You can listen to our interesting episodes on this platform as well. So from us here, we say thank you very much, and we say bye.